What happened on day 1 and 2 of the NPFL on Douglas Lake? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. The National Professional Fishing League is fishing Douglas Lake right now. They finished both days 1 and 2, and it's a good tournament for the NPFL. If you remember, they have prohibited forward-facing sonar, the other technology they can use. They're using side scan and 360 a lot of times. And fans who do not like forward-facing sonar are gravitating towards the league. Now, they don't do any live streaming or broadcasting on day 1. It starts day 2. I believe this is a mistake. I have to be honest. It's really hard for me to give constructive criticism to the NPFL. I've did it in the past, and it's came back to bite me in relationships. They're not open to constructive criticism. So it does lead me to kind of keep things to myself. But I'm not going to as much. I'm going to try to be as professional as possible. But I think if they're going to do this, they need to broadcast all 3 days. I think it's very important for the growth of the NPFL. You've created this platform. Use it as much as possible. That includes day 1. Now there's loads of 1 and 2 pound fish being caught. Getting that 3 or 4 pound kicker is where the cream of the crop, or the cream, rises. And early on in day 1, it was Andrew Upshaw and Caleb Couple, James Watson, were all in the top 10 before 8:30. It was off to a great start. Now day 1 leaders included Scott Martin, Buddy Gross, Tim Sealis, Lindell Martin, Tim Frederick, Brandon Cobb, Kyle Welcher, Cody Bird, Jason Reyes, and Nick Brown. We'll go through the leaders after day 2 in a few seconds. And again, I say this with as much respect as possible. I think Luke and Fat Cat do a good job. However, I find myself turning off the sound a lot of times because it seems like they're competing to one-up each other in jokes when they're not even funny jokes. It's almost like they want to hear themselves talk, so that's why they're commentating. And there's times when they're commentating over the anglers. And I really think that the NPFL needs to sit down with their anglers and really teach them how to be media savvy. When they have a cameraman on the boat and they want an update on what's going on, you find it a little weird for those anglers. It's something that they've never dealt with probably, or a majority of them haven't dealt with. There's a lot of times when you're watching someone who's fishing and all you hear is this heavy breath like they're gonna pass out. And I think they need to give these anglers a little bit of media experience or media teaching. Now the top 40 anglers get paid after the 3 days. And all the anglers fish all 3 days, which is something different than any other tournament. And I think the story that won't be told, that should be told, is Zach Burge was fishing heavy hitters yesterday. He drove overnight and fished this. So you have to give Zach a lot of credit for showing up and doing pretty well. I think he had 9 or 10 pounds today. And he's only going to fish for 2 days. Now my other criticism of the NPFL would be, well, I have 2 more. I think that, to be honest, I think they're doing a good job. I really do think they're doing a good job. Is it great? No. Is it better than MLF? No. Is it better than Bass? No. But it's still a good platform, and they're building. They're taking baby steps to make the league what they want it to be. Now, they're not going to cater to the fans. They've said that in the past. It's about the anglers. But if we're going to give constructive criticism, one thing that needs to change, in my opinion, is the weigh-ins. To have a weigh-in go 3 hours, it's too much. It's just too long. I respect that they give everyone an opportunity to get on stage and talk and just to say they're sponsors. But quite honestly, if a guy's only caught 3 fish over 2 days, I'm just using this example, and I don't know if anybody did this, but are we going to really buy a product from somebody who's in dead last? And I understand you want to give everyone a little bit of time, but I think you can monitor the time of who's coming up and who isn't. And we don't need to see every fish, only the big ones. And my third or my last critique of the NPFL is here we've got a new platform this year. We've got no forward-facing sonar. We have some great fishermen that have joined the league. We have good commentary being done by Luke and Fat Cat. But if we were to give them an overall grade after 3 stops, unfortunately, at this point in time, with all this, with the continuous problems with the feed and the audio and everything that's going on, I think they're probably in that, if I were to grade them A through F, they're probably about a C-. I expect them to get into that lower B's by the end of the season, but I think at some point in time, hopefully the fans don't get discouraged by what's going on. But there are times when it's tough to watch, including the weigh-in. But the top 10 anglers, we're going to see everybody fish Championship Sunday, were, and it was a 3-way tie between Scott Canterbury, Kyle Welcher, and Tim Callis. Lendl Martin, Brad Staley, John Cox, Hunter Sales, Tavin Napier, Caleb Couple, Baron Adams, and Nick Brown topped out the top 10. And any one of those guys, including some that are in that 10 to 20, have an opportunity to win. And the win, you get $100,000. So tomorrow will be interesting. Tough place to go fish, not big numbers in catches, not big numbers in terms of big fish. So kind of makes it fun to watch the anglers struggle, but at the same time, you do want to see some big fish caught. But overall, pretty good tournament in my opinion for the NPFL in Douglas Lake. And they had 2,700 people watching live, so that's great. That's, you know, when you start looking at the numbers, almost 3,000, and then you look at some of the guys on the elites who are just broadcasting and streaming for themselves at that 8 to 1,000 to a little bit more, it means the NPFL is growing, and that's a good thing for them. But what did you think? Comment below and tell me what you think. Are you watching the NPFL? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think Canterbury or Welcher will win this thing? Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. I really do appreciate it. It's been weird, but I'm thankful for all of y'all, so thank you. Remember, take your kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.